Hey, it's Robbie from IELTS Coach Pro. We've got a really special treat for you today. We did a live one-on-one session with a student, and we went over IELTS reading, how to do diagram labeling, and table fill in the blanks. Okay, so people struggle with those question types a lot, and today's lesson is the recording of the one-on-one video session that I did with a student. And so you can kind of see the questions that the student asks, you can see how I respond, and through that process, you're also going to get some practice with a real IELTS question. But before we do all that, please subscribe. We do IELTS videos every Monday, and we help people get 7s and 8s on their IELTS exam. And now I'll jump to the recording. Enjoy. So the first thing that you want to do with these is you want to make sure you understand the diagram first. So don't even look at the passage yet until you've really looked at the diagram, make sure you've understood it, and wrapped into that diagram somewhere are some questions or some places where you need to put answers. And so you need to know what you're looking for before you go to the passage and look for it. So just really taking some time to understand the diagram, figuring out what you're going to be looking for, and then you go to the passage. And once you've understood the diagram, then you have a pretty good advantage. As you scan the passage, you know you're scanning for certain things or certain keywords, and we'll look at that in the example. And then you fill in the answers, but they may be out of order with these. And so that makes it a little bit more tricky, and you just have to have multiple questions kind of in your mind as you're scanning, because you don't know which one is going to come first. But one thing that is helpful with these is normally for one entire diagram, all of the answers will be in a pretty contained area of the text passage. So maybe 1 or 2 paragraphs. So once you find that those 2 paragraphs that are referring to the diagram, you don't have to keep scanning the whole passage because all of your answers will probably be right there.
Okay.
So these 2 paragraphs, you don't need to worry about the table at the bottom yet. We're only looking at the diagram. And so I would like you to take a minute and read the instructions at the top. Look at the diagram in all of its parts. Don't look at the passage yet, and then see if you can explain to me what they're looking for here, like what type of answers you're going to be looking for.
In centimeters below surface, and
yes,
this probably the dung beetle types that lives in different parts of the world.
Okay, and so what type of words will you be writing for your answer in 6, 7, and 8?
Should I start?
Don't look at the passage yet. Just from the diagram, there's
sorry, type of?
What type of words?
No, I haven't looked at the test.
So just
there
from
is
looking
that. It should be some places.
Let's see. So just from looking at the diagram,
you
should be able to, you should know a little bit about what your answers are going to be. Like there's a certain category of word that all of your answers will be basic. Go ahead.
I know it should be some places the beetles live in. That is what is
Right.
given in the box.
Right. So once you've understood that, that's really helpful. So all of your answers will be one of these 6 words, and
Okay.
they are different regional adjectives, which is important. And so it doesn't say France, it says French. And so
French.
that's
Okay.
important to keep in mind. But yeah, and so these are the 6 words. So now once you've kind of understood that, also you can kind of tell there's 3 little branches here. And so, branch number 6 matches one of these regions. Branch set number 7 matches one of these regions, and branch set number 8 matches a different region. And this word tunnels is important.
Yeah.
And so tunnels are just these little branches, because as you look at the passage, it'll start to make more sense. But the dung beetles are digging digging below the ground and making tunnels.
Yeah.
So now try scanning the passage and reading and seeing if you can find the answers.
Okay. So the 6 is Spanish. Sorry, so 6 is South African. 7 is French, and 8 is sorry, South African. 8 is again South African.
Okay. 2 out of 3 were correct.
Okay.
Generally on these, you wouldn't use an answer more than once. It might be possible, but whenever you have an option set like this, and this is true for all question types, if you're allowed to use one more than once, they will put a little footnote here. Usually they will say NB, and they will say you can use any answer more than once. So if they don't say that, then you know it's going to be different.
Shallowest is Spanish, but there is another thing on the surface dwelling beetles. Okay, so shallowest is Spanish. 8 is Spanish.
Yep, and so surface dwelling.
Should be on the surface.
Yeah, would be up here.
Yeah.
So these, number 8, even though it's close to the surface, it's still below ground.
Okay, so Spanish is 8.
Yeah. But generally, good job. You're pretty much on the right track there. Most of the diagram labeling questions will not be so difficult, but just taking that extra time to make sure you understand the diagram and understand what you're looking for will be very helpful as you search for answers.
Okay.
The next one, it really confuses some people, but for some people this isn't so difficult. So this paragraph contains all the answers for the table. And again, similar to the diagram, the first thing you want to do is understand the table so you understand what answers you're looking for.
Okay.
And so here they have number 9. You'd match it up and you'd see that, okay, the species for number 9 is Spanish, and I'm looking for the preferred climate.
Temperate climate.
From Spanish, yeah. And you said temperate?
Oh no, yeah, temperate climate.
Um,
No, I didn't read the passage actually. I have to read.
okay. Yeah, sorry. I just thought I heard you say it. Anyway, one thing to keep in mind is the other words in the table will
Yeah.
kind of help you know which word form to use.
Mm-hmm.
So in French here, it just says cool.
Cool.
It doesn't say cool climate. So then
Okay.
for
Okay.
number 9, when we write that, our
Temperate.
answer, we just write temperate. So if
Okay.
we write temperate climate, it'd be a little bit of a gray area.
Yeah.
They might be generous, but they would probably mark it wrong if you wrote
Okay.
temperate climate. And then similar for number 10, we want to find the start of the active period for the Spanish. So see if you can find that one.
Early spring.
Yes. So that's good. Um,
2 to 5 generations.
yes. And then 12.
Sorry. Okay. Subtropical.
Yes. And then 13.
Am I allowed? How many words can I write?
That's a good question. I didn't include those instructions. So let's assume you could write up to 3 words, because that would be the maximum.
Northern and coastal New South Wales. So that will be the answer. Complementary species, or I can write New South Wales.
That one, show. Complementary species is what it works together with.
South African tunneling species.
So the South African ball roller works together
South African.
with the South African tunneling.
Okay.
So that is very difficult. And so when they list the dung beetle types up here, you can see that South African ball roller and South African are 2 different things.
Mm-hmm.
So your answer for number 13, if they allow you to write 3 words, then South African tunneling would be fine, but an even better answer is just to say South African. Yeah.
Okay.
New South Wales is the climate that they prefer.
Okay.
Even though, so the answer for climate is subtropical, but New South Wales is the location of that climate.
Okay.
And then for complementary species, the South African is what they work together with.
That I might make a mistake.
Yeah.
That one.
This one, this is also pulled from the academic IELTS, which, so since you're taking general, generally academic is a little bit more difficult. Okay. But yeah, this is about the maximum difficulty. So it won't get more difficult than this in these types of questions. Any questions about these question types?
I'm good, because we read in physics, we read lot of graphs. This first section was not very difficult for me.
Okay. I hope that was helpful for you. Please leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought of the video. Let me know if it was helpful. If you hated it, leave a comment and tell me that as well. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Subscribe so that you don't miss a video, and we'll see you next time.